Reinbou by Pedro Cabiya. Okay, this book is kind of a doozy. I don't want to say this book is a doozy. Overall impression, I have mixed feelings about this book, but overall I like it. Synopsis. Set in the Dominican Republic, this story is told in 1965 during or around the time of the Dominican Revolution and in 1976. The main story in this book is a little boy who ends up discovering the mystery of his father's death 10 years earlier. However, there are many characters in different storylines. 1965. Puro is a likable and good man. Oviedo is his best friend and also has been put in charge of a mission involving Puro, which is a mystery to the reader until later in the story. 1976. Maceta is a young boy living in poverty with his mother, stepfather, and aunts. From the descriptions of him, he probably has autism, something like that. He is in his own world often, but he is intelligent and wise beyond his years in some ways. 2017, at the end of the book, there are some updates from 2017, letting the reader know how things turned out. Themes of war and its effects on children, that's the main thing. Military, corruption, history, Dominican Revolution, class, race, inequality, poverty, autism, not directly talked about, exploitation, trafficking, friendship, betrayal, romance. I like the romances in this book. Positives. The author is not a writer, he's a storyteller. Very creative, witty, sarcastic. The story jumps around quite a lot. The setting is unique for what I typically read. I love the story itself, the mystery, the betrayals, friendships, romances. I like the scenes where he is on the roof describing the streets, the buildings, and people. It makes me want to read similar books like Military Recon or maybe like an adventure book. There are themes of many different things that the author doesn't talk about in depth, like trafficking. Some of the topics not good, obviously, but just thought-provoking in a lot of ways. Makes you consider your worldviews, other people's realities, right? Negatives. Like, there were some negatives. Oh, maybe like a negative, there was such a weird combination of these, of war and selling arms and trafficking and all these things, but then also some parts of it are told from a child's point of view, which I think is a weird mix, but that's a reality for some people. Some children grow up in a war zone. Negatives. There were some negative things said about the U.S. and the U.S. military that I didn't like. It's a fictional story written by a Puerto Rican author. It's satirical in a lot of ways. There's a lot of sarcasm. It's not like when he says gringo and he's like making fun of white people, but he says some sarcastic things about the U.S. and the U.S. military. I just didn't quite like it. Lots of characters. Oh yeah, I said it was a negative, but I got Oviedo and Molina mixed up a few times. It's a lot of characters to keep track of. I thought it ended in a weird way. The ending in 2017 is a woman telling stories to her twin daughters, which lets the readers know how things have turned out for some of the characters. Then there is an epilogue. It's in line with the storytelling feel of the book, maybe not necessarily a negative. Okay, so I guess when I was reading it, I just didn't like it so much. Some of the talk about race felt weird to me at times. You have characters who will say what they say even if it's offensive, but some of it just felt weird. I did not like the cover art. Oh, I didn't like the cover art for the Spanish edition. On my blog, I have the English edition of the cover art. On my blog. Yeah, the Spanish edition, I didn't like the cover art. Overall, I like the story. It has a lot going on, but it's less than 200 pages. It was free to download on Kindle. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have read it. I'm reading about the history of Puerto Rico and reading Puerto Rican authors. The story is set in the Dominican Republic. However, I like the descriptions of the Dominican Republic and feel like maybe I want to read something about their history someday and read something by a Dominican author. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Kind of just an unexpected book. It was free to download. He's a Puerto Rican author. I read, Pedro Cabiya, also in the anthology that I read. There was a short story by him about a different planet, and it was really interesting, actually. Book quotes. There are a lot of book quotes on here, if you want it. I don't know if I would read another book by him. And then recommendation, I can't say I recommend or I don't. I liked the short story that I read by him. I liked this book. I like his writing style. There's some stuff I also don't like about it. Just, sometimes when you read things and you're like, you feel I'm better off for having read that. I don't know if I would read another thing by that author, but I'm not going to say necessarily bad. I don't know. I read it. Read it if you want to. Reinbou, a novel by Pedro Cabiya.